Hello, how is everyone today? I am Wendy Joy, and I'm here to read you a story. The story is called Penelope and Her Kitty Cat, written by me, by Wendy Joy. The story starts with Penelope in her bedroom, getting up and ready for the day. She looks out the window and she sees that the sun is shining and that the flowers are dancing and the birds are singing, and thinks what a marvelous day today will bring. She goes downstairs and sees her mom and her grandmother, and they are getting breakfast together. Penelope said, "I can help. After all, I'm 5 years old." And they said, "Yes, you can help. You definitely can." So Mom said, "I'm making pancakes." And Grandma said, "I would like to have fresh eggs." So Penelope said, "I can go to the chicken coop and go get fresh eggs so that we can have eggs with our pancakes." And then Penelope said, "I can get oranges from the refrigerator and we can have freshly squeezed orange juice." And Grandma said that would be wonderful. And then she said, "But don't forget," and Penelope finished her thought by saying, "Everybody needs a glass of cold water." And Mom started laughing. So Penelope ran out to the chicken coop, and she brought her basket with her so she wouldn't drop the eggs, and she got 5 eggs. She counted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. She thought, I could eat 2, and Grandma could eat 2, and that would leave 1 for Mom. So she said, "That's 5. 2 plus 2 plus 1 is 5. And she said, "That should be enough." So she went back inside and she gave her mom the eggs from the chicken coop. And then she went to the refrigerator and got 3 oranges. And she squeezed the oranges and got juice and put that in equal amounts in 3 glasses. And then she went and got a pitcher and put water in it and thought, maybe we should have cold water. So she went to the freezer and got ice cubes and added ice cubes to the pitcher of water. She put everything on the table, and then Grandma came with forks and glasses. And then Mom put the food on plates and put the plates on the table. Mom, Grandma, and Penelope sat down at the table and ate their breakfast and talked about their day. Mom said she had to go to work today. Grandma said she had to do laundry. And Penelope popped up and said, "I'm going to go to the playground today and see what adventure comes my way." So after breakfast was over and the table was cleaned and everybody brought their dishes to the sink to be washed, Mom went to work, Grandma started the laundry, and Penelope went on her way to the playground. The playground was down the street and around the corner, so there weren't any streets to cross, and Penelope was able to go by herself. She went to the playground and she sat on the swing set and she played on the swings until her friend Sophia came. And then Sophia joined her on the swings. They swung until they were tired of swinging and decided to play on the monkey bars. They saw that there was 8 bars across the monkey set and asked each other, "Do you think we can make it across?" And Sophia said, "I don't know, it's a long way." And Penelope said, "We'll never know if we don't try." So they hopped up onto the monkey bar set, and one at a time, they grabbed each rung until they got to the end. So they counted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then they jumped down to the ground. There wasn't enough room to do it together, so they did it separately. And both girls were very happy and impressed that they were able to get across the monkey bars the whole way, and then thought how fabulous it would be if they were able to turn around on the monkey bars and go back how they came. So Sophia said, if there's 8 rungs here, and Penelope said, then there's 8 rungs back. So both the girls giggled and laughed and said 8 plus 8, and then they both said 16 at the same time. And they were right. 8 plus 8 is 16. Good job, girls, they thought to themselves. And then they went over by the slide. And it wasn't just a normal slide. It was a slide that had a castle on top of it. It was this big room, and it had benches all around the inside. So I guess if there was a lot of kids, they could sit and wait their turn, right, to go down the slide. But it was just Sophia and just Penelope, so there was nobody that was coming before or after. So the girls went up and down the slide as many times as they wanted without having to wait. They felt happy and excited and fun. And then Sophia said, my watch says it's 12 o'clock. Both the big hand and the little hand are on the 12. So that means on a round clock, it's 12 o'clock. Sophia went further to tell Penelope. And Penelope said, you better not be late. Your mom might get mad. So Sophia ran home so she wasn't late for lunch. And Penelope was thirsty and decided that it would be a good time to sit down underneath the tree over by the swing set and have a glass of water and some of her snack. So she sat down underneath the tree, and she pulled out her book bag and took out her little toy kitty cat that she had packed in there when she was getting ready for her day, and pulled out a couple of bowls, one for her and one for her kitty, and put some water in one for her kitty and then chips in another so that she could share with her toy stuffed cat. So they were having like a tea party, if you will. And then out of nowhere, Penelope started hearing meowing. So she looked around to see where the sound was coming from, thinking that it couldn't be her toy cat. Her toy cat never purred before. And then she saw a real live kitty over by the garbage cans by the front entrance to the playground. So she said, hey, kitty, what are you doing? Are you thirsty? Do you want a drink too? So she took the chips out of one bowl and she put them back in the bag. And then she took water and put it in that bowl and stretched it as far away as she could from her so that if the cat was thirsty, he could come and take a drink. So Penelope went back to drinking her water and eating her crackers and playing with her toy kitty. And then the next thing she knew, the kitty cat was drinking the water from the bowl she left for it. And she thought, oh, I guess the cat was thirsty. She was happy that she was able to give it something to drink. And then thought, I wonder where its family is. And then saw that the kitty did not have a collar on either. So she thought maybe he doesn't have a home. But she was playing and didn't give it much mind, even though she really wanted a kitty cat. And she asked the universe every day to bring her one. So the next thing she knew, the kitty cat was so happy to get water that he jumped in her lap and started purring and meowing. And Penelope was so super excited that this kitty cat trusted her enough to sit in her lap that she just gave it a great big huge hug and said, I love you. You could be my cat. If you don't have any place to go, I want you, since you want me." And with that, the sky started to get cloudy, like dark, like the clouds were rolling in over the sun. So Miss Penelope thought maybe it might be better to clean up and put all her stuff back in her book bag and take this party to a dry place, because she always knew kitty cats really don't like water. So she didn't want the cat to leave because it was going to start to rain maybe. So she thought that it would be better to play at her house. So Penelope said to the kitty, "Come on, kitty, come with me to my house. We could play in my room." So she walked out of the playground and called Kitty, "Come on, kitty, come on, silly kitty." And she just kept calling, "Silly kitty, silly kitty." And the kitty cat followed Miss Penelope to her house. And just as soon as they got to her backyard, the sky started to open up and it started to rain. And the kitty cat did not like the water coming from the sky and ran as fast as he could up onto the porch, because there was a roof up there and he could hide from the rain. And Grandma was on the porch and she was pulling in the laundry from the line and said, "Where did this kitty come from? There's this kitty here." And Penelope smiled and said, "That's my friend, Grandma. That's my friend, Silly Kitty." And Grandma said, "Your friend?" And she said, "Yes, we met at the playground. Kitty cat was thirsty. I gave him some water, and he jumped in my lap and told me we were friends." So Grandma said, "That is awesome. Usually you don't bring people home from the playground, but I'm glad that today you brought home a friend." And Penelope laughed and said, "I want this friend to stay with me for always and forever, because I've been asking the universe for a kitty cat, and now here's a kitty cat. One came and found me when I was playing at the playground. I knew today was going to be an awesome day, Grandma. I just knew it." And Grandma smiled at Penelope and said, "Well, Miss Penelope, what are you going to call your new friend?" And she said, "Well, that's easy, Grandma. I'm going to call him S.K." Grandma looked at Penelope and said, "That's a unique name." And she goes, "It stands for Silly Kitty. This way, I can call him S.K. and I'll know it's because he's a silly kitty." And Grandma looked at Penelope and said, "That's a wonderful name, Penelope. You did a great job. I am sure that Silly Kitty, S.K., will be very happy with his new name." And Miss Penelope said, come on, S.K., come on, let's go to my room. Let me show you where you're going to sleep." And the kitty cat followed Penelope through the kitchen, into the living room, up the stairs to her room, and it said, "Welcome to your new room." And Silly Kitty was so happy that she jumped up on the bed and she laid nicely in between her stuffed animals and said, "This is my spot." And Miss Penelope laughed and said, "This whole room is your spot." And that's the end of my story. Two friends, lifelong companions. Thank you for listening. Until next time, behave.